Good morning, everyone, and welcome to an episode of Strictly Business. My name is Rich Wallace, and I am your host for this morning. And we are excited. We have a guest on that's going to be talking about some business detail and some business insurance to make sure that you are in compliance with the laws in your state, your city, where you are doing business. You are joined an episode of Strictly Business. We are part of the Southern California Black Chamber of Commerce from the desert to the sea with 15 chapters and 15 opportunities all the way from Long Beach to Barstow to Palm Springs and to Culver City down in the Temecula, the wine area. That's where we are networking at. And this show is broadcast across the entire United States. I see my good friend Kevin. Welcome from Just Works out of New York City. Thank you so much for joining us this morning. And I think you might even like this show. This is going to be talking about bookkeeping, paperwork process, how to do certain things and keep your business alive. This is going to be an opportunity for you to network from the desert to the sea. You have now tapped into Strictly Business. This is a talk show about Strictly Business. We're going to take a short break and we will be right back with our guests to talk about Strictly Business.
One of the secrets to exposure for your business lies within supporting Black businesses and entrepreneurs. And that is why the Southern California Black Chamber of Commerce is here to connect Black businesses from the desert to the sea. Let's join hands to empower and sustain our community. By becoming a member of the Southern California Black Chamber of Commerce, you can grow your business and increase your clientele. With our innovation, we'll generate new businesses and get new customers. And we'll connect new mindsets with businesses from across Southern California to help bridge the wealth gap. Let's connect, build, and grow together. Join us now at blackchamberofcommerce.org.
And you can become a member by going to blackchamberofcommerce.org and be a part of this organization that helps small businesses. And if you are that small minority businesses that don't need any help, I got all the money, I got all the customers, I got everything I need. What would the Black Chamber of Commerce do for me? It's going to introduce you to some people that you can help. So we want to reach back, grab one, teach one, and we believe that if you're already a millionaire, let's make some more millionaires so that we can join together. You've joined an episode of Strictly Business. My name is Rich Wallace, and I am your host for today. We are on live 3 mornings at 7 a.m. California time, but it's 10 o'clock somewhere else, 9 o'clock somewhere else. So get up, get ready, and let's do this. All right, we're going to start our episode with our guest. We're going to bring in, I want to make sure I say her name right because I got some Nikishas and some Nikis, and this is Nikita. So, ladies and gentlemen, let's welcome this morning. Hello. How are you today?
Fine. How are you? Thank you for having me, Rich. I really appreciate this opportunity.
Yeah, I thank you for just getting up bright and early because you out in Southern California with me. So we're on at 7. We had to be rock and rolling at 5:30, 5:45 to be able to get our hair the way it looks in such a good way there. So so we're gonna have some fun this morning. Tell us a little bit about USI Insurance and how it works, what to do.
So I've been with USI for a short time now, and USI is different from a lot of different organizations in the sense that they have what's called a USI One Advantage tool that we offer to our clients. And so what that is pretty much it looks at the benefit strategy of each business of how we can help them with an approach to risk management with integrating the proprietary business analytic tools with a network of team of local and national experts in the consultative planning process that is generated to target recommendations for improving employee benefits plan. So we call that our USI One Advantage, which is our Omni. And of course, as I mentioned, Omni is for the proprietary analytic tool. Then we have our network, which is over 9,000 teams that we have across the US here. And we also have what's called our enterprise, which is looking at our clients' business issues and challenges and just seeing what options we have to quantify a financial impact for a solution for them. And everything in this engine is real time. It has over 50 years of analytical data that's been processed in there, not only from a national level, but also at a local level. And it looks at, if your industry, for example, is construction, it's going to look at the local construction companies and how you rank and are competitive with people that are in the same industry, such as yourself. So we
So,
target this for not only mid-sized companies, but we also look at small companies as well in the community and trying to help these small business owners stay competitive and to help them grow their business as well.
okay,
Mhm.
that was a good script. That was pretty good. But you had a lot of 50 cents words in there that a guy like me did not get, did not
So basically,
understand.
if you,
I
yeah,
don't,
basically, if you don't know anything about insurance, just know that what makes us different from other people is that the tool that I mentioned, the USI One Advantage tool, is like an advanced Google search, which is basically it's going to allow us to look at, people like yourselves that are, companies that say are in the same industry as you, or even different industries. It allow us to look at, some comparable rates that's out there as well to try to make sure that we give you the best plan possible, depending on the solutions and the challenges that each business owner that may be experiencing. Pretty much, that's
okay,
if you
so,
don't know anything about insurance, that's what makes us different.
so
Besides our team that we have here as well.
okay. And once
Yeah.
again, even in the second part, you use some 50 cents words, analytical and judgment, this and that. Okay. I got life insurance. If
Okay.
I die, it'll pay my people.
Right.
If I got car insurance,
Right.
if I have an accident, it might pay for the accident. Car insurance is so flaky, you know. Uh, so now, if I have a business, which I do, you're saying that you come into my business and analytically figure out what I'm spending. Do you help me? I mean, is it like workers' comp, or is it what does it cover the fell off? I, I think of insurance. I think of accident. I think of coverage. I think of being sued. I think of these kinds of things that in my little world, I think of protection, so to speak. Uh, does USI protect me, or they analytically figure out if I'm spending money in the wrong place? Do they come in and make sure that my employees are not stealing? What is the basic fundamental and simplify 4 words, 4 letters or less, what it do for a brother?
Okay.
Yeah,
So what we
my
do
light
is,
went out. Your
I
light went
know.
out.
But you can still see me, can't you?
Oh yeah, I can see.
Okay.
When we start talking about good stuff, they turn off the lights on us. I know what they do. I know.
Exactly.
I didn't look like this. I've been here before.
So yeah, so pretty much in the basic term, what we do is we look at what issues a company may be experiencing with their employees. So we're there
Mm,
to protect not only the employer, but we also are there to protect the employee as well. And so what we do is we listen to what their issue is, because each company is going to experience different things on why we're going in to look at what type of insurance services that we can provide for them. Some companies may want property and casualty for risk, but what I specialize in is employee benefits, anything from medical to life insurance, like you had mentioned, to just a variety of different things. There's a lot of different solutions that I offer under the employee benefit umbrella, like HR solutions. So we look at how to relieve some of the burdens. Say, for example, a small company that's being ran, say 50 employees, and you got maybe only 2 people in the office running the back office there. So obviously they're not going to have enough hands to hand out for 50 employees. So what we do is we come in and we try to look at how can we help this business owner, grow and to stay profitable, and to help protect them as well, to retain the employees that they do have. While they want to grow, we want to make sure we can attract the right employees as well. And so we go ahead and we look at, okay, what do you have in place right now? We're looking at the issue. If we get the business owner to agree on what the issue is, we then go and we start looking at the next step, which is going to be some possible solutions based on what they're telling us they're having an issue with. For example, just the other day, I met with a business owner that was having an issue with retaining their employees because they weren't offering any benefits. They thought, okay, we're giving them a good hourly wage. Why do we need to offer benefits? So they had one of their top guys leave the company, and they were upset because now they can't find that same quality person that they're looking for to fill his position. So they started to rethink about everything, and then they had me come in for an appointment, and then we start talking about retention, how to retain the employees, what's the communication looking like? Because a lot of the employers that are out there, sometimes the employees don't realize what's being offered by the employer, if anything, as far as when it comes to benefits, I'll say. So
I thought you have to, as an employer,
right.
based upon the number of hours that a person works, I thought you had to. Let's take a quick. Oh,
Sorry.
you want to take a quick? Okay, you good.
I got yeah.
Right.
I wanted to turn it
Right.
back on. Sorry.
Right.
Go ahead.
I thought you had to provide some type of health insurance if I worked 8 hours, if I worked 40 hours a week for you. I thought that I had to have some type of medical insurance for you. So you're saying that the employer does not have to. You can work for me if I give no benefits, and you choose to work there. I can do that. I thought you had to.
So it's when you have a small group, I would say under 50, where it may not be required in your state. Each state has different regulations. In the state of California, it's mandated that they have offered and are providing the insurance to employees who are at least 50 and over, have 50 employees and over. And so they're changing the rules, every year with small business owners. And that's where I come into play, and I help small business owner get educated on what is compliant, what's not compliant, and if they're not compliant, what the cost that they can incur can be, which we're looking at thousands of dollars a year for them being out of compliant if they don't offer that insurance for their employees. All it takes is one of your employees to blow the whistle, and you'll all of a sudden be investigated, and you'll have a lot of fines, and it's not worth it. So it's
Okay,
just
now,
going out here educating the local business owners here, and I'm specialized in small groups. So I'm going out there educating them on compliance, and where there may be an issue. We're looking at areas of opportunities to take advantage of, so they won't have that penalty to pay, because that's a stiff penalty if found out that they're
okay,
not
now,
offering that.
okay. As a small business,
Mhm.
it's almost like I'm afraid to be in business because I have workers' comp,
Mhm.
which is different from what you have. I have fire insurance on the building, which is different, right? Is that,
Well,
and
we offer all those different types of services. I was just saying what I specialize in is
okay,
employee
and that's what
benefits.
I
So
think that's what I'm trying to.
USI, the umbrella for the insurance that they offer property and casualty, which is under what you just mentioned,
Mhm.
for, workers' comp or something like that that happens, or auto. We also have risk management insurance, which is, the employees that maybe are, have a high risk job, like such as like maybe someone in the construction field or something like that. Then we also have employee benefits, which I specialize in, which we offer.
So I'm
So we
trying to figure.
offer those 4 segments in the insurance world.
Okay, as a small business person, I'm trying to calculate in my head how many types of insurance does this guy need? He got 2 employees, one of them is his cousin, and they got this small business. I know I got to have workers' comp. I know I got to have fire and casualty. I know I got to have this or that. I know I got to have life insurance. I know how many different types. Well, how many like you say, you guys cover mostly all of those. So a small business person has to have 6 or 7 different types of insurance to function. Is that
Well,
too much?
it depends on the industry, it depends on the business. Some industries, for example, if you're working in cosmetic, then of course, there's not you don't need risk insurance because you may only have the type of, say, cosmetic that you're doing is, say, for example, is just fillers. That might be it, to where, okay, well, we might not need this type of insurance, but we definitely need employee benefits because, if one of our people gets sick, if they need to go out on leave, if they need long-term disability, if, they get in a car accident when they leave, our place of business, we need to have that in place because being a small business owner, you don't want to come out of pocket to pay
No.
for someone to be, on long-term disability because that affects your business and your financial growth. So that's why we go in, like I said, we educate a lot of the small business owners, and we come to an agreement on, do you see any challenges in your current businesses? And if so, we're going to look at some tools and some options and some solutions to how we can help you in the local community grow your business.
So if I got a small business and I got an employee, this employee comes up with, like you mentioned, long-term disability, cancer, or
Right.
some real illness, and I don't have insurance to cover that person, or you're telling me as the small business, as the employer, I have to pick up some of that sickness cost for that employee if I don't have the insurance?
Yeah, because what's going to happen is that they could actually come after you if you are not in compliance. And that's where I mean that some of the small business owners don't maybe realize what their compliance is. If they have, say, for example, 20 employees or 50 employees, do they need to offer that? And so the answer is that you want to have it covered because what will happen is if you don't have the insurance, whether it's 20 or 50 employees or 100 or 300 people, that you are at a very high risk of either going out of business or because of employees maybe coming to sue you. Then you have the government, the federal and the state, coming after you for not following rather the federal guidelines on what you need as a business owner to offer these employees. So I mean, and then not only that, when you're not offering that, say, for example, and someone is on long-term disability, like you said, with cancer, I mean, then you have to look at what kind of impact you're providing on the family in the community. How do you think they're going to sustain the lifestyle if that person was a breadwinner, an employee there, and, you're not offering that type of insurance as an employer? I mean, there's a very high risk involved when you're not offering business
So,
insurance to your employees. Go ahead.
wow. So you talk about the word compliance, compliance for this and compliance for that. I mean, I may close my business tomorrow
We don't want you to do that.
because all of the
I'm here to
compliance
help. I'm
rules
here to help.
that you just told me about, and it's a
You must have hit a
difficult
button.
process. It's a very difficult process for small businesses because I mean I got to sell a lot of tacos to pay rent and to pay this and to pay that and all of these different things, which is why, and I use the term bootleg, and that's not really a good term, which is why you see a lot of these street corner businesses. And this is some of the problems that some of the retail businesses have come to me about at the chamber office. Is like these people out on the streets are a half a block away from me. They don't have to have this kind of insurance. They don't have to have this. They set up at 6 o'clock in the evening. They're there all night long, and it's killing my business, which I've got to be in compliance. I hung up one of those little flags in front of my business that do this here, and the city came along and gave me a fine and told me I had to take it down. And here's a guy here with a whole half the block, and he got tents, and he don't have a sink out there, and this and that, and all these kinds of things that I'm competing with, but I'm paying all the fees. How does a small business person survive today? And using your term, being in compliance, which means I'm by all the rules. And I want to go back to the word compliance. Is there, or do you or your company say, Here's all the things that you need to be in compliance. Because basically, I don't know. I know how to make good tacos. I know how to bake a good cake. I opened up a business. I pay the rent $2,000 a month, and that's got to be a little tiny place. So I'm paying $2,000 a month for brick and mortar. I got to pay light, gas, and water, and I got to hire a person. And the new rules in California is 19, $20 an hour. That's not a lot of money for the person that's working, but that's a lot of money for the person that's paying, because I'm only selling 2-3 tacos a day, so I'm not making $20 an hour on tacos. How does a small business person come to you at USI and say, I'm struggling. How do I survive and be in compliance? Is there something that your company, so many people come in and say, more money, more money, more money, help, this is what you need, this is what you got to pay for. Is there some workshops that you guys do to help small businesses understand, or to take the $5,000 a month that they're earning and spread that out so that they are in compliance and able to pay their employees and pay themselves? Because as you probably know, most small businesses owners don't get paid, or they get paid last, or they get paid what's left. Is there something that you does to soften the blow? Because everything you done told me this morning is more money, more money, more money, more money. Help a brother out understand how USI is going to get me through so I can be here at the end of the year. Because, you hear the statistics, the average small business fails within the first 2 years, Is it because of the compliances? I know it's tougher in California. I own businesses in California. I own businesses in Texas. And like you said earlier, the rules are different in different cities. Different states. Texas doesn't have workers' comp. California does, So Texas doesn't, I don't have to pay benefits in the state of Texas. They can work, as long as they're under the 40-hour window, I don't even have to offer them. I can offer a company to come in and you can pay yourself. So does USI have a program where they would come into my company, talk to my employees, and my employees can decide if they want to buy the insurance, or do I have to take care of that?
So how it works is that as far as answering your question about how do you know if you're compliant or not, what we do is that we would also we have a checklist, a compliance checklist review, and so we would sit with the business owner, of course, the decision maker, and speak with them to see what they have currently in place, because we have to figure out what do they currently have. If they have nothing, then okay, that's a start right there. Okay, we understand they're going to start from scratch. So then we go over, what's the communication method like here between you and your employees, and then we're going to go over some things of, what is required of them as a business owner, and then we're going to look at, like I said, several different solutions to try to see what we can do to get them to meet those compliance, requirements that are out there, if any, but most of the time, like I said, there are requirements for business owners, especially when you're looking at a group of people, small group of people. You still are required to have like some type of checklist that you have, to where if an employee, say for example, leaves the company, then that, hey, I got to issue them like a COBRA notice. You have things that they can't come back and say you didn't tell them about. So I'm there as an education to teach them, like, okay, you don't have any of these things in place. Okay, now this is going to be a place we can start here. This is going to be a resource for you. So I'm going to provide them resources for them, so they can then get the information that they need to, like you said, be compliant. So, for example, yesterday it was in Los Angeles. They had a small business summit where the mayor was there, and she spoke about business owners need to work with each other in the community and find out what resources are out there for them to grow their business.
Mm.
And so, I was there and I was meeting a lot of small business owners there, and they really appreciate it, because some of them don't have access like the large companies do, to insurance companies that can help them in their business and help, like I said, retain and promote and their benefits. So as far as that, yeah, we have a checklist that we would review with them, and we would figure out where they can get the resources from. If it's not directly from us, then we would then have some recommendations for them.
Okay, does cities, and I'm pretty sure the compliance for Los Angeles might be different for the compliance in San Bernardino, because cities are different with what they require. I used to
Yeah.
be in the vending machine business, and I had a vending machine in a city called West Covina inside of a laundromat,
Mhm.
and the city came back and made me get a license to operate in that city, and then I had to get some, even though I was the one that was going in there putting the chips and the sodas in the machine. They made me get workers' comp. They made me do some things. It was cheaper for me not to have the machine in the city, but with all of the fees and the compliances and stuff that they had. Now, as a small business person, I'm running my business. I don't know or have a checklist of the
Mhm.
compliances.
Mhm.
So, is there a website to say compliance us that a person goes to figure out what they, because when you open up a business, I got a business plan, I've got all of this, and I got my employees, and I figured all of this stuff out, and I'm ready to rock and roll.
Mhm.
I've mapped it out, I've strategized, but most businesses have not taken a look at all of the, and that's because we don't know.
Right.
So
I agree.
are you available before I open my business to say this is what you're gonna need, Rich, before you open your doors? Because most small businesses, and those are the ones that I deal with,
Mhm.
started a business because they lost their job. I
Mhm.
lost my job, they're
Or
not
they quit,
hiring.
or they quit and they wanna start their
Well, they
own. I met a
quit and
lady
they want to start
yesterday.
their own
She
business,
yeah,
but
she quit and she started her own. So,
and they
yes.
think they got 20,000, $30,000 already. I got a lot of money because it sounds like a lot and did,
Uh,
20 years ago, but
uh-huh.
$20,000 is only 2 months rent, maybe, most places with light, gas, and water and fees and all of that kind of stuff.
Right.
So, as a small business, walking out the door with my 401k in my pocket and it's $100,000. And when I get there and then I get into this building and I find out that I got a plumbing issue. We just bought a shopping center. Me and a couple of friends of mine went in and we bought a shopping center out in the San Bernardino area. So we revamping it. I went into Oklahoma and we visited Black Wall Street. So we're all excited about Black businesses coming back. And we had the conversation with Black Wall Street in Oklahoma. And I went to Washington and we talking about Buy Black. So we're really pushing Black businesses to move forward. But nobody's talking about insurance and compliances because we just kind of wrote it in. Oh, insurance, no big deal. Insurance, no big deal. But when you look at all of the different types of insurances that you're telling me about, that your company has, and you're specializing in just one part of that. And I'm thinking, so now do I have to talk to your workers' comp person and your health person, or are you the go-to for me and my business, and you're going to sit down with me before I start, because I'm going to go back to the beginning, because I'm thinking a lot of small businesses
Mhm.
need you before they buy their licensing or whatever it is that they're doing to open up. We're doing a coffee shop, and I'm finding out there's a whole lot of rules just to sell coffee. I'm like, what the heck?
Yeah. So what I do is that I've been also reaching out to entrepreneur startups as well. So I've been reaching out to them because you are right. I'm going to agree with you. A lot of people when they're trying to start up their business, they just think payroll. That's it. I just got to pay someone to go do this job, and I'm cool, And it's like, no, 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 no. That's you want to make sure you protect yourself as the employer. I mean, you want to protect your employees because you want to show that you care, the I care message, but then you want to protect yourself at the end of the day as well as an employer. So I have been reaching out in the community out here in the LA County area and been reaching out to people that also are trying to start up their business and letting them know how important it is that I can provide, services under payroll and the medical life, dental, vision. That I can do it as far as, what they need. And if they do need like property and casualty, we have it all in house. As I mentioned, we have over 9,000 people on our team. So I'm very resourceful. Everything would stay because what they want to do is, if say for example, they're like, yeah, I want employee benefits with you, Nikita. But then I need that property and casualty because I got a trucking business and I need to make sure, because if my person goes out on workman's comp, that I'm not paying out of pocket. I'm not paying that. So then it's like, oh, no problem. I got my PNC guy that I work with here, and we can come in together and we're going to discuss all of your issues or needs or wants that you're looking at here for your business. So we want to keep it all in house, under one umbrella if possible, to where it helps as far as with the business owner. They don't have to call, oh, I got to call this company for property and casualty because now I gotta figure out this workman comp. This guy went out on me. And then, oh, I got to call Nikita because now the employees are asking me when enrollment is for the benefits. And I really don't even know
Yeah,
myself. So,
yeah,
we keep it all in house. And what we do is that we also have like one of our solutions, I'll just tell you, is like a calendar service to where we're going over, okay, it's like a checklist, like you said, we're going over it. We're walking through every step of the business owners, questions. Even if they don't have the questions, we're going to bring it up if we see, like I said, areas of improvement, because we're there to help the community grow. We're also there to help the business owners, grow their business, and to show the I care message with their employees as well. Because one bad thing, like you said, of some of the businesses that may go out of business is because they may not have insurance in place when employee gets injured or hurt. And you got to think, these people that are coming to work, they have loved ones at home. If something happens to them, they may be the only breadwinner. Who's going to pay the bills? Who's going to help them? And they have to make a decision. Yeah, it's good money, but then they don't have the insurance, and they know wifey at home may not can work because they have to go out and they have to go and do what they have to do to be
but
able to stay
Nikita,
in their home.
hey, I'm saving the day for the guy that can't do this, that can't do that. But I'm
Yeah.
a business owner.
Okay.
I'm losing my tail over here trying to help because you tripped and fell, And I'm gonna bring an incident that happened to us that small business people are probably not aware of. And my question to you before I tell this long story
Okay.
is what is my question? Well, let me tell a long story and then maybe my question will come back.
Okay. Go ahead.
Uh, oh, is there a protection form or piece of paper that a business can make up, write out, to have you as an employee sign that releases me from responsibility? Now, the reason I'm asking that, I'm gonna tell you the story, is that we were doing a special event and we needed some ice. Someone volunteered to go pick up the ice.
Mhm.
Said, okay, go get the ice. They went to go get the ice, but on the way to get the ice, they had a car accident. So when they had the car accident, and apparently it was their fault, so the people that they had the accident with sued me,
Mm.
you know, because they were on the way to get the ice. Now, the person volunteered said, well, I got to go to the store to get this for me. I'll pick up the ice while I'm there. Okay, great. Fantastic. Saves us a trip, somebody. But she had an accident. They had an accident. And the people that they had the accident with sued me.
Mhm.
So fortunately, I had the insurance, but I was back and forth dealing with it. Now, this takes away from me, the small business guy,
Right.
working my business, because now I got to deal with something that not my fault,
Mhm.
nothing to do with me,
Mhm.
and I still didn't get the ice. So uh, is there something, because I got what you're saying, we need to protect the employee, his family, da 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 da. But the employer that people think has got deep pockets
Mhm.
is barely making payroll every month, is barely keeping the doors open. Is there something that can release the employer from the employee's bad accident
Like an
or
accident.
whatever.
Yes. So the answer is yes. We do have accidental, like if someone is traveling, like in your case, she was traveling from your property, going to go get the ice, and like you said, you didn't end up getting the ice because the accident occurred. So when it's an accident, it doesn't matter if it was her fault or the other person's fault. It was an accident that occurred. So if you have accidental insurance in place, there's a certain type, like a travel accident insurance. We provide that as well for business owners, and we also recommend that they have it for, especially if they have an employee that does a lot of traveling in and out of state. You want to have your accidental insurance in place for something like that if something was to happen, so it can protect the employer from anybody that comes after them in legality eyes.
So there is actually no legal form that an employer can have an employee sign that releases them from whatever goes on in the employee's life. If I know I've gone some places that, oh, you have to sign this for release, so we're not liable while you're here. We have a charter school, and sometimes we'll do a special event and we'll take the kids to Magic Mountain or wherever we're taking them to. We rent a bus and take the kids, and I have them sign something, and I have the parents sign something. So you're saying if I had an accident, that little piece of paper that I had them sign saying that I'm not liable for whatever happened really doesn't mean anything because I'm still liable.
Correct.
Oh, wow. That's
So
deep.
you're still going to be, because it would be probably like I said, you would have to have an accidental insurance policy up there because she was, like you said, volunteering for you at your property. And so when she left the property, because she was actually going to be coming back, and so she's on your time, that because you got to think about that as well. So yeah, so you want to have something in place to protect yourself as like you said, the employer, from anything like that. Because like I was mentioning earlier, if a person leaves your place of work and if they get in an accident, then you're still liable, especially if it's on company time or if it's on her time, your time, that you had something going on, because she was going to get the ice. Must have been something going on at the time you were having
So
an event.
volunteers are the same as hourly paid employees when it comes to protecting them or having the employer protect them. A lot of times I get volunteers from restaurants, Applebee's will send out 4 or 5 people. US Bank, they've sent out, a group of people to come and work a special event. We're having an expo and they come all out, they got the US Bank things on. If somebody has an accident there, they're volunteering to me, but they actually are working for US Bank. But I still have to have insurance.
You
cover.
still need to have that insurance, right? Because you want to protect yourself. Because if something happens at the time that they're volunteering, and if you don't have anything in place, then you're leaving yourself open for, legality potential, I'll say.
All right, we're going to take a short break here, give you a chance to have a sip of coffee or some water.
Thank
We'll be right back.
All right, thanks.
Are you ready to change your life? Let us help you. At Youth Build Charter School, you can get a high school diploma and kickstart your dream career in no time. We offer high school diploma programs in construction, CNA, military, college, and entrepreneurship. If you are between the age of 16 and 24 and you want to manage your studies with a job, recover your credits, or graduate early, we can help you achieve your dream. Call us at 1-888-395-4408 or visit youthbuildinlandempire.org. Good news for the Southern California business community. Now you can add your business to the Southern California Black Chamber of Commerce Business Directory complimentary. We have been working tirelessly to build a list of Black-owned enterprises in Southern California. This is an excellent way for you to be a part of an expansive network and find your ideal customers, business partners, and vendors. So don't waste time. Visit blackchamberofcommerce.org today and add your business today.
Okay, we're going to be right back. We're back now, and we've got this young lady on telling us about compliances, being in compliance, having the right insurance, and we're going to bring Nikita back right now. Hey, ma'am. So we're back at this. I had a couple of questions in the chat over here, And well, we already explained that because one person asked, well, do you have to have this insurance? And we talked about compliance and that they have to have it. So they know that. And somebody asked how much it is, but you can't tell them
That's
that.
based off of zip code and demographics.
And oh, is it based off a number of people as well? That's
Yes,
what you
and a
say?
number of
Okay.
people.
Yeah, and
Yes.
I kind of gave them that, told them it's based off of the number of people that you have and the type of business that you're in. So I'm pretty
Yes.
sure it's different from a construction company than a bakery.
Right.
So you can still get burnt either way.
I like right.
So just being in compliance and that I'm gonna have to look up that compliance word, because it sounds like a lot,
Mhm.
and it sounds like most small businesses have no idea of being in compliance because I started my business because I make the best cakes in town, and everybody tells me I should be selling these. And so now I've got this bakery going, and I got a mixer that cost me $5,000. And now I got to pay somebody $20 an hour to come in and mix it. And now I have to cover them insurance wise, building wise, all of these different things. I'm trying to encourage or find some words of encouragement, and I'm probably going to ask you to help me with that, to help people that want to be in business not be afraid because of compliances and insurance and laws and rules. It's like I almost want to be one of those people that just opening up on the curb, because they're not
No,
paying any of these fees. So how does a guy trying to do the right thing the right way, how do we survive in today's economy? Because they say we're not in a recession, but as an insurance and a business person, do you have, because I'm sure when you're talking to people, you're talking to them about insurance, but you kind of got to lean into their personal lives, and they may start crying when you leave. You got to pat them on the back. How do you encourage a person to keep going? Because I'll talk, keep pushing. God is on your side. It's gonna make it work. Blah, blah, blah. How does an insurance person, which got to have the compassion, because there's a million people selling insurance. Now they call some of the insurance people, I'm a financial planner. Well, you just really sell life insurance. You have no idea how to financially plan someone's future. But because you got a life license and you sell life insurance, how do you compassionately get this across to the little guy that really needs this, but just does not, he didn't budget it when he was planning for rent, light, water, and gas?
Yeah.
How do you
So
talk him it down?
yeah, so I actually had a client that was what you described, as far as like he didn't necessarily think through all of the different insurances. So he just actually got on board in 2023 with offering medical insurance for his employees because he realized, because he was at that stage to where he needed to make that offer because he's at 50 employees. And so, but he only offered medical. So I still, we still had the meeting and everything. And so what I hit home with him, because he wasn't offering short-term or long-term disability, he didn't think about that part. He only thought, okay, well, if I offer just medical, then that's good enough. So I had him to think about the I care message to his employees, not only, to protect himself if someone was to, like you said, they got diagnosed with cancer, and so you don't know, you could be stage 3 or you could be stage 4. You just don't know when you get the diagnosis with something like that, how long you're going to be out. And so, what I had him realize is that over 37% of retention, if he was to offer the long-term disability, he would be able to, be at peace with, keeping his, one of his high productive employees on staff. They were one of the people that went out, or just any of the staff. And so we really talked about the importance of long-term, disability, and how it would affect him as an employer. and how much money it could cost him in the end if he didn't offer that. And so we talked about that. We looked at some options as far as, what's affordable for him at this point to offer his employees. And so we talked about that. And so we are going to implement the long-term and short-term disability at his company. So we're going to implement that piece of it from the insurance standpoint to help him, retain and recruit, better, for his employees and for who he's trying to target out there. So he was in agreement with that. And so we were able to do that through, like I said, the compassion, letting him see the full picture that, when these employees, most people have families. So, if they are, like I mentioned to you, the breadwinner, even if they're not the breadwinner, if they're contributing in the household, nowadays you need two incomes to make it, a decent living, I'll say. And so, if one of them get injured, something happens, we wake up tomorrow and something happens and they're all of a sudden on a long-term disability, then how does that impact his business? So we looked at it also of how that would impact his business if that employee went out, what it looks like, so we were painting the picture on, how it would look if he didn't offer that and something was to happen. So he's just been fortunate that nothing like that had happened to him at this point. So now he's like, you know what? He goes, when you're younger, you really don't think about it, or when you first start a business. And so he said, I'm, getting older, and you know what? I would have loved if my employer before I got in business would have offered me that, because you know what? I did get injured, but his was a car accident, a real bad car accident. So I'm there to like educate, I'm not there to like say you need all these assurances to stay in business. That's not the case. But we look at, like you said, some certain insurances that you want to be able to at least cover yourself from the employer standpoint, and also from the employee standpoint. If they, like I said, if they got diagnosed with something that yesterday they were fine, today they woke up and they have, cancer or something. So.
Okay, now here's a question I got.
Mhm.
That person got sick, not my fault. That got nothing to do with me.
Right.
Okay, his family is suffering. I'm sorry, because if I give you more money, my family gonna be suffering.
Mhm.
Now, he's working for me. He's been here 6 months, a year, whatever. He got sick. I gotta fill that spot. Can
Yes,
I
you do.
fire him and get somebody else?
Not
What?
if you, no, if you're looking at it, if you want it from a financial point, my recommendation, and I'm not an attorney, so remember that I
Mhm.
don't have my law degree,
Okay,
but
yeah,
my
yeah, yeah.
recommendation I would suggest is not to fire that employee that's out on long-term disability. I know it's not your problem, you have nothing to do with it, and you may not be sympathetic to it. Maybe he did it on his own, like maybe he shouldn't have been hang gliding, just say for example.
Mhm.
But what you want to do is that if he's out on long-term disability, you want to look at, okay, your options as far as what type of insurance you have at that point and things like that. And if you don't have any insurance that you're providing to say your employees at all, then you want to look at the cost. So it's going to be more costly for you to recruit, to retain, and to grow your business, because you got to look at the average employee. When you go out there, say for example you want to hire this person, it's going to take you at least 52 days to train that person. Then you got to look at the salary wise, and how much you're going to offer them, because that employee that's out on long-term disability, you might have hired them 20 years ago. So their pay is going to be maybe a little bit less than a person in today's market of where you got to hire, what their expectations are to come on board with you and your company. So you got to look at the cost from all the way around, not only the training time that it's going to take, you're going to look at how much salary, what you're going to be paying them, because you got to pay them at a competitive rate now. And you're
But I
just
got
going to see.
nobody in that spot now, and I'm paying this guy over here. He at home watching Oprah, and I still got that truck sitting here. It's got to move. So you're saying I can't replace this guy
I
because
mean,
he's sick?
you can replace him if
Legally,
it's up
can I?
to you, but legally, you would not want to make that decision. You wouldn't want to do that, because then what'll happen is it's called well, it's called you're not treating him fair,
Uh,
so there's discrimination, because he's out on sick leave and he didn't foresee that he was going to get sick, because he can fight that too, saying that, hey, he didn't know he was going to get sick, and so that's illegal and that you're violating his rights. So
Wow.
that's why, I don't have a law degree, but I
I
would
understand.
recommend not taking him off the books, keeping him on the books. But then you also want to look at different resources. If you have, say, another person in house that maybe has the knowledge, maybe he another employee knows his job in and out, but just didn't perform it because he was doing a different duty. So if you can shift that employee over to the person that's out on sick leave and try to see how long the person is going to be out on sick leave, because that's the other thing. He might say, well, I might be out for 6 or 7 months, but then because of financial reasons, he may come back within, say, 4 weeks. So you kind of have to make sure you have all the paperwork in place and just understand, how long this person really is going to be out. And you got to see, your staff, as far as where everybody is at, as far as in your company, what their jobs and responsibilities are. And I mean, it's going to be totally up to the business owner if they want to take that chance and replace the person. But depending on how long they're going to be out, you have to look at, there's, as I mentioned, various things in that situation that you have to look out for. And if he is going to be out, say, for a year or 2 years, then yeah, you're going to have to go ahead and find someone that can come in and fill the spot, because you gotta have that job function done. So I mean, long as you don't, I guess, get rid of him completely, but you still have to keep the operations going. I understand that part as well. So you just
Yeah.
want to think smart about it.
Yeah, that's a tough thing for a little business that's got 3 or 4 employees and one goes out. I only got 3 people here. That job was necessary. I can't
Yeah.
move you over here, because if I move you, who's going to do the job you were doing?
Right.
So it's kind of I'm trying to find the proper thing to motivate the small business to stay in business and to continue to be a business owner. And it almost looks like it's easier to just go get a job, because it,
No, that's not true. So
it,
we offer, because we can offer insurance to small business owners that have more than 2 employees enrolled in benefits.
it
So we can offer that, and we can make it affordable for them.
okay.
Now, as I mentioned, it depends on, there's various things in the mix when you're talking about someone going out on long-term disability. So if it's a small business owner, it's like what you just said, a 3 or 4 person man shop, that's being ran, then yeah, you're going to need to go out and have someone, just long as you don't terminate that person that's on the
Mm,
disability. So if you terminate them, it's going to be, a big financial impact as you being a business owner. So, I mean, like I said, I don't have my law degree, but, you want to be smart about it. Everybody's situation is different. So, it's not just one blanket for all business owners out there. If someone has 300 employees, it's going to be a lot easier for them to maneuver around versus, like you said, a 3 or 4 person shop. So it's just completely different. So it just depends on the circumstances.
wow. Okay, we're going to take a short commercial break, and we'll be right back. And you will have some final words on what you need to do to be in compliance.
One of the secrets to exposure for your business lies within supporting Black businesses and entrepreneurs. And that is why the Southern California Black Chamber of Commerce is here to connect Black businesses from the desert to the sea. Let's join hands to empower and sustain our community. By becoming a member of the Southern California Black Chamber of Commerce, you can grow your business and increase your clientele. With our innovation, we'll generate new businesses and get new customers. And we'll connect new mindsets with businesses from across Southern California to help bridge the wealth gap. Let's connect, build, and grow together. Join us now at blackchamberofcommerce.org.
Please join us at the Southern California Black Chamber of Commerce as a member. Our membership is very reasonable, and we will have opportunities for you to be able to understand some of the compliances that you need to have to be in business. We have our celebrity golf tournament coming up June 9th. It's going to be at the Brookside Country Club in the city of Pasadena at the Rose Bowl. So if you are a golfer with the clubs in the garage that got so much dust in it, and there's a mice at the bottom of the bag, empty the mice out of the bag and come out on June 9th at the Rose Bowl and and play golf at our celebrity golf tournament where we're raising money for Youth Build, our educational program that helps young people get their high school diploma and move forward, which we're going to play a quick spot on that and let you see about Youth Build, and then we'll be right back with our guest with some closing remarks. Thank you so much for being a part of Strictly Business this morning. I'm Rich Wallace, and we'll be right back.
Are you ready to change your life? Let us help you. At Youth Build Charter School, you can get a high school diploma and kickstart your dream career in no time. We offer high school diploma programs in construction, CNA, military, college, and entrepreneurship. If you are between the age of 16 and 24 and you want to manage your studies with a job, recover your credits, or graduate early, we can help you achieve your dream. Call us at 1-888-395-4408 or visit youthbuildinlandempire.org.
And welcome back. Rich Wallace here, and we're going to use our last 5 minutes here to talk about how you can get into compliance and what you need to do. And our guest today is, here we go. Okay, click the wrong button. Hey there, you're back. Thank you so much for spending time with us this morning and letting the small businesses know what they need to know to be in compliance and to take care of their employees. Now, one question here is the employer. I'm the boss. Am I covered as well? So when I go out, does my family still get to eat, or is it just for the people that work for me?
The answer is yes, you would be also included when we're looking at providing insurance to the businesses. Business owners and the employees are both being looked at as far as enrollment for insurance. So one of the compliances is that we ensure participants receive promised benefits, and so we also look at looking at establishing procedures in a fair, financially and conservative manner. And so we also look at, as far as if the employer wants to provide benefits for not only the employees but for their family as well. So we look at like beneficiaries, and so if the employer wants to be, say, just a beneficiary, because say they have a exit strategy plan to where they are only, say they're 51% owner, and then they have another partner that they're in business with, then they want to make sure that they have that strategy lined up as well, their succession plan. So we offer those services as well. So to answer your question, yes.
Oh, one other question you brought to my mind here real quick. Can an employer take a life insurance policy out on an employee so that if that person should die, the employer could receive benefits for losing, kind of like back in the day, they used to have what they call a key man insurance, where that covered my partner. But can I utilize something in that form for my company? Because I'm really concerned about the employee. Everything you're telling me is for the employee. We don't want their family to suffer. But if I lose an employee as an employer, I'm suffering just as much. And then I'm having to pay the cost, which is not in my budget because I didn't plan their accident or my accident or anybody else's accident. So, or their death. COVID brought about a lot of deaths. I lost a lot of people in my family. And just wondering, it used to be you had to have what they used to call an insurable interest, which means I needed to be related to you or I need to lose something if I lost you. Is there in place now, because insurance has changed so much over the years, is there something that an employer can say, I'm going to take a $10,000 life insurance out on you, and I need you to sign here, and I'll pay the premium. So if you should drop dead, I get the 10 grand to cover my costs. Is that against the law or what?
So basically, it's, as you know, insurance is state regulated with their procedures and what's in place. So the answer to that is no, because if that's the case, you know how many employers would be rich right now from people dying on the job? So no,
that's what I'm looking at.
Yeah. So the rules hasn't changed on that. So you still need to be related or somewhat like in some type of relationship with that person for them to be on the insurance policy. So everything, like I said, is state regulated, and they do, and this is another thing that they do with insurance. They will check as far as, especially if you fraudulently say you go out and you take an insurance policy out on me without my knowledge, then you're looking at some serious penalties, not only financially, but also it could include jail time as well. So you want to be very, very careful on you putting insurance out on anybody that's in the industry, I'll just say.
Okay.
So
So
no.
we've got about 60 seconds,
Okay.
and I need you to give me a 60-second spot on why I need to call you, and toss that phone number out. This is recorded. We're going to put it out with your number that you put into the chat thing there. So what do you leave us with?
I leave you with that you want to have someone like me. And the reason why you want to call me is because I would be able to build a relationship with you. So it wouldn't just be a one-stop shop, but I would be there to hold your hand throughout the entire process, not only for year one, for year two, for year three, for year four, but I'm there to help you for life. I want to help you create growth in what you're doing there. And I want you to know that I'm compassionate about insurance and about providing what's right for the business owners and their employees. And so if you have any questions or anything, just keep me, like I said, as a resource. I'm here and I'm available. I'm very educated. And so, I know a lot of people. I have a lot of different people that I speak with. So I'm very resourceful as well. Again, I have passion for what I do. And you can reach me if you're interested at area code. My cell phone number is out of state. So it's 734-972-0328. You can give me a call and we will be able to talk. Like I said, I'm here to help come up with any solution possible for your business. Thank you.
Thank you so much for being a part of Strictly Business this morning. Hold on, and I'll be right back. We're going to sign off here. And as she says, she's there to hold your hand. And from what I found in the last hour, you're going to need some hand holding. So thank you so much for being a part of it.